General Hospital, April 23. Lines in the sand, secrets on the brink, and one long-awaited awakening. Port Charles never sleeps, and neither do the secrets and simmering tensions that fuel its residents. On Wednesday, April 23, General Hospital delivers a gripping blend of emotional upheaval, fractured alliances, and one possible turning point that could reshape everything. At the heart of the episode are confrontations that challenge loyalties, advice that could tilt the scales of fate, and a long-awaited moment that may finally arrive. Carly and Jason. Fractures in friendship. Once a team built on unshakable trust, Carly Spencer and Jason Morgan find themselves on opposite sides of a delicate and personal matter. The subject? Willow Tate's potential trip to Germany, a journey meant to reunite her with Michael Corinthos, and perhaps, bring closure or clarity. Jason, in his signature calm yet assertive way, tries to explain the benefits of Willow and Michael reconnecting in a neutral space, far from Port Charles's constant pressures. He believes the focus should remain on what's best for the children, and for once, tuning out the noise of outside opinions. His words are meant to reassure, but for Carly, they cut deep. What she hears isn't support, it's betrayal. Worse yet, Jason's view aligns uncomfortably close to that of Nina Reeves, a woman Carly sees as manipulative and dangerous. Carly isn't just questioning the trip, she's questioning Jason. And that shift threatens to unravel one of the most enduring bonds in Port Charles. Her anger isn't just about Willow, it's about feeling alone in a fight she thought Jason would stand beside her in. Whether it pushes her to move forward with a custody hearing remains to be seen, but if Jason discovers her intentions, that might be the final wedge driven between them. Portia's calculated honesty. Elsewhere, Portia Robinson walks a fine line between supportive friend and practical strategist. She believes Nina holds a key that could splinter the budding relationship between Willow and Drew Kane, the truth. If Nina wants to drive a wedge, all she has to do is finally admit what she's withheld. But honesty isn't always healing. In Portia's eyes, this truth could also backfire spectacularly, painting Nina as dishonest or manipulative, two labels that could stick for good. Nina, ever the chess player, must decide whether the move is worth the risk. And as always in Port Charles, one revelation often leads to 10 new secrets. Laura's defense of the unpopular truth. Meanwhile, Mayor Laura Collins finds herself having to once again defend her controversial stance on Sonny Corinthos. While others whisper about exile and retribution, Laura is clear-eyed. Removing Sonny might sound noble in theory, but in practice? It's a gamble that could invite chaos. The vacuum left behind by Sonny's absence would undoubtedly be filled, and Laura fears that whoever steps in next won't be nearly as restrained. Her warning isn't just political, it's personal. Port Charles thrives on illusion, and Laura sees through the surface. She knows better than most that sometimes, the devil you know is safer than the ones lurking in the shadows. A shock for Drew, and a test for Willow. And then, there's Willow. While others plot around her, she remains at the center of emotional storms, unaware, distant, until now. Wednesday may mark the moment everything changes. As she prepares for her trip to Germany, her conversation with Drew takes a sudden turn. Drew, it seems, isn't as supportive as she expected. There's hesitation, resistance, a need for control. Willow, ever intuitive, senses the shift. This isn't about logistics or timing. It's about autonomy. For a man once championed as her safe harbor, Drew's disapproval feels more like a boundary being drawn, and one she may be ready to cross. If she wakes up, emotionally or literally, it may be to a world that no longer lets her play the passive observer. She has decisions to make, voices to silence, and perhaps, a path to walk that no longer aligns with the men who've tried to shape her destiny. Closing thoughts. Change is coming. April 23rd isn't a day of climactic resolutions, but rather the quiet tremor before the aftershock. Carly and Jason's fractured dynamic, Nina's potential confession, Laura's moral stand, and Willow's reckoning are threads in a web growing tighter and tenser by the hour. The question isn't whether things will change in Port Charles, it's who will survive the fallout when they do.